Hey, greetings YouTube. Performance reviews where I give you the review from a technician's point of view. Today I have a Hoover Turbopower 3200. This is part of a series of machines from Hoover labeled Turbopower. I'm not exactly sure what the differences are, but they're all very minute. Relocation of switches, headlights, 1 or 2 rows of bristles. They all claim to have different motors, but I believe they are all actually the same motor with just different listings in power. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they just kind of goof the numbers on those. And for those who are unaware, this is really a Hoover Elite. And the Hoover Elite has been something that plagued the vacuum industry from the late 80s up until basically the 2000s in the commercial sphere. In the home sphere when this was made, this is one of the last Hoover Elite style uprights that was made. They would make a version with a self-propel that was truly terrible, and that was again one of the factors that led to the downfall of Hoover having to be sold to Maytag, which then brought in a whole new era of even worse stuff later. So this is a Hoover Turbopower 3200. As you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of these cleaners, and I'm in the minority. A lot of people really like the Hoover Elites, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't personally like them in terms of the Hoovers, and I'm a big fan of Hoover, as I've released a video of my Hoover collection video where I had a whole bunch of Hoovers. So I'm mad about Hoovers, just not this one. All right, folks, I've switched to the studio microphone. You're gonna hear the real sound of this thing running. I just want to turn on and off because it is a vintage machine and we don't see these around too often. And it's a particular smooth running example. It doesn't have like a lot of bearing whine like a lot of these machines have. So have a listen. Yeah, this is in really good condition. Let's just talk a little bit more about the labeling. Hoover used to put the system on here that would tell you how much horsepower or effectiveness in amps, and it was this number that meant nothing. So this has Hoover slapped it on the nomenclature of 19 amps, but only uses 7.3 amps. And some of the lower end machines only use 7 amps. And again, they would claim this difference. I really don't believe there was a difference. If anything, the extra 0.3 amps was from the light bulb. And here is their explanation of the rating system printed on the side of the machine, I'm sure for legal reasons. Over the years, I have taken stickers on the front or side of vacuums as bullshit, and this is no difference. And here is their explanation of their bullshit. Pretty much totally marketing nonsense and really nothing. Cleaning efficiency per amp is not an amp rating. Amps do not measure the removal, only the amount of electricity used. Cleaning effectiveness per amp determined by dividing the model's cleaning efficiency by its amps. Cleaning efficiency is the percent of value obtained by dividing a different meaning. This sticker basically says it's bullshit. Don't take it too seriously. Now, above this sticker right here, we have the on and off, or at least the ghost of where the on and off switch would live on a normal Elite. Something I think that's interesting about these machines is why they would use the newer style Hoover 1¼ tools. They kept the same sort of plug-in hose, except they switched the fitting of which the plug-in fits into the machine. Now if we go to this side, you'll open this port and you'll plug this hose in here and twist it like that. Now these would almost always be permanently attached to that. The problem with doing this is it actually leaks a lot of air out of it when you do that, so you actually are supposed to do this, and then this hose just kind of flops around, and if it's got enough tension, the stretchy hose will hold itself in place, but there's no clip or anything like that. The other thing on here, mine is missing the adjustment knob cover, but you can still slide it. The tool cleaning or the bare floor on here. So the bare floor just lowered it. Tool cleaning actually moved a gate across here to cut off the nozzle. Now moving to the bottom of the machine, this had a dual layer brush. This particular one, its actual model number is not the Turbopower 3200. It's a U5301. And again, things on the front of vacuums are really just there to confuse consumers for marketing purposes. Nobody's going to put their actual model number on the front of the machine. Now, another difference between this and some of the other Hoover Elites is this would have metal ingest bars right there. Oh, hi Oreo. Some of these later would get like metal clips or screws, and you can see, in fact, there are screw holes in here, but there are no screws. That's because this was meant to be a toolless brush roller change. So this pries open. I guess toolless mean no Phillips. You'd still need a flathead So you can see that gate that gets closed and often gets stuck when you put the tools on. The suction's just off to one side. So again, a very uneasy cleaning path. The bearings are open, so they require grease constantly. Now, if you want to change the belt, this is not how you do it. You actually have to I hate doing that. All right, so now you have to pull the cover off, and now you can get to the belt. So unthinkable in today's world, but that's how it was back then. And again, we can see that they used the same motor really on all of these. And this just goes back together. Again, very unnerving clipping something that is 20 plus years old. Back together. Now, one thing that is not a lie is the easy open tab. And this is molded in here. It looks like it's colored in white on camera, but it's actually just black plastic. There you go, it's just the way the light was in that. And that is easy open, falls off. And then we have a Hoover type A bag. I have a HEPA bag fitted, of course. That's pretty normal for any machine I'm working on. There's no reason to breathe the dirt. So yeah, that was kind of nice. Again, no post-motor filtration other than the bag. And this is a direct air machine, so it's actually putting all the dirt and debris through the motor first. I will tell you beforehand, I did give this machine a good scrub. I can confirm that the fan, impeller, and seals are intact as they should be. Let's see how much working vacuum this thing gets. That got 15 inches of working vacuum. That is truly atrocious. Most machines that I test today usually get around 40 or higher in terms of working vacuum. A Kirby, for reference, gets about 18 on this gauge, so it's even less powerful than a Kirby. We got about 25 inches sealed, if I'm being generous. So yeah, you don't have a lot of suck on the end of this hose, despite them giving you essentially a nice full set of tools. Again, that's just absurd how you have to switch that back. All right, folks, let's see how this vintage vacuum does against our usual pickup test of fine sand, cat litter, breakfast cereal, and some stale pet hair. All right, well, that certainly was loud and dramatic. Left a little bit of pet hair behind, all the breakfast cereal. Ooh, ground in the cat litter over here. Let's see if I can get it out. Yeah, it really ground in the cat litter. Okay, well, there's cat litter. And then you can see right here, you can see all the sand left behind. Again, without those high working vacuum numbers or a higher sealed suction number, fine sand like this isn't going to come out of the soft carpet very easily. Little side note, here's the sand after I vacuumed it a whole bunch of times, and it's still not coming up. That's terrible for your carpet. As you probably heard in the undertones of this video, this to me, in my mind, represents the downfall of Hoover and kind of the downfall of American manufacturing in a lot of ways. So I don't think very highly of these machines. I don't think that they're really collectible, but again, the market seems to disagree with me. The vacuum cleaner collector community seems to disagree with me, and that's all right. If you want to see more Forgotten Gems, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you really like what we do, go check out our exclusive videos on Patreon. Big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters that help make this sort of content happen. Have yourself a wonderful day. Well, folks, thanks for watching the video all the way through. You made it to this section. Check out one of these other videos. As you can see, I had to bring out the central vacuum to get all the sand that got ground in by this Hoover.